Welcome to lesson 37. We are on the topic of how to fail. And this is how to fail at blogging. And this is a little bit stronger than how to make a mistake. These are on the topic of how to fail. These are ways to really guarantee that you won't have any readers. And specifically on this lesson, we want to talk about the failure of apologizing. Now, you have been taught by your parents, of course, that you should apologize for the mistakes you have made or for the inconveniences you have caused others. But with blogging, you got to be careful about your talent. A lot of times, if you are new at your skill, you feel inadequate, and so you find yourself apologizing for everything that you do.
For example, can I give an example?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. If you are someone who likes to create jewelry, for example, and you make something and you're not super proud of it, but it's the best you can do at this level, and so you start off by saying, here is a sapphire.
I'm sorry, I don't have a diamond to go with it.
I'm sorry it's not as good as it could be. I'm sorry it's not something that you might wear, or I'm sorry that it doesn't look that good. You just sound like you are looking for affirmation, and that's not something you want to do as a blogger.
Right, because it's not something you've done wrong to your readers, and it's not something you have stolen from someone else. So you just need to be straightforward and explain what it is that you're doing, and not claim more than what you're able to, but be confident and somewhat proud of the beginning skills that you have. Because frankly, if it's really bad enough for you to apologize, you shouldn't be...
Don't post it.
Yeah, you shouldn't be posting it at all. But a lot of times this is because you're feeling inadequate, and you can unconsciously be trying to get people to compliment you. And we all know, we're sometimes all guilty, even as adults we do that. We tell it's like, oh, I'm really not good at this, but what you're really saying is, please tell me how beautiful or how wonderful or how great I sound. Don't do that. It's called fishing for compliments. So you've got to scrutinize your posts in the beginning to make sure you're not doing that. So what I want you to do for this lesson is to list 10 things that you could fail at in your talent. And keep in mind that each field of talent has their own types of special dangers. So Renee, you're telling me about like chefs
like
in
if
particular.
For example, I've learned early on that if you like to cook and you need to do a lot of cutting, let's say it's chopping onions and so on, you actually have a higher chance of cutting yourself if your knife is not sharp enough, because it can slide. Let's say you're chopping a tomato, it can slide right off and onto your finger. So that would be an example of a failure in a talent.
Because in that particular field of talent, chefs have to stay on top of sharpening their tools.
Right.
And if you're a beginner, you're not normally thinking in terms of knives and tools because you don't think that's really your talent, but it is. And there are some tragic accidents that can happen.
Yep.
And so, and I think also, you know, I have one son who uses a lot of gas and very hot tools, and he's got to be very careful. And I, because he's still young, I go and check on him to make sure that everything's turned off properly. And some of the older experts in his field have shown him how to double check to make sure that everything is turned off. So obviously, he would have some special things in his field of talent. He needs to make sure that he doesn't smoke in that environment. By the way, he does not smoke. He's a young boy. But it would be funny to put that in there.
And right. You have gas
exactly.
and so on.
So that's an example. For example, he could put that, say, smoking in a gas-filled environment could cause you to blow up, which brings a humorous but truthful focus on the fact that this is a very dangerous part of his skill, and you need to take extra precautions. So I want you to come up with 10 possibilities, 10 ways you could fail at your skill. Put them up in a blog post, and you'll be done for this lesson. Until the next lesson, happy talent journey.
Happy talent journey.